Have you ever witnessed an act of injustice that left you speechless? Black woman couldn't buy bread for her daughters until a millionaire recognized her and changed her life. This isn't the place for people like you. Go beg for money somewhere else. Manager Mitchell's voice echoed through Sunrise Bakery, causing all the customers to stop and watch the spectacle. 32-year-old Kesha Williams held her two young daughters' hands tightly and took a deep breath. What the man didn't know was that she was recording every contemptuous word on her cell phone, discreetly tucked into her half-open purse. A former nurse who had been laid off during hospital cutbacks, she knew all too well how prejudice worked, and this time she wasn't going to leave with her head down. "Mr. Mitchell, I just asked if I could pay for 2 loaves of bread tomorrow. My card has been temporarily blocked by the bank," she explained with impressive calm. 6-year-old Emma and 4-year-old Sophie looked confused at the man who was being so cruel to their mother. "Temporarily." Mitchell laughed loudly, making sure the whole store heard him. "I bet it's always temporary with people like you. Just look at those clothes. Do you think I was born yesterday?" Kesha noticed that other customers were taking photos and filming discreetly. Perfect. The more witnesses, the better her revenge would be. "It's just 2 loaves of bread for the girls," she insisted, keeping her voice steady while internally calculating her every move. "I work nearby. I can come back early tomorrow." "Work where?" "At the gas station." Mitchell laughed loudly, looking at the other customers for approval. "Listen carefully, princess. This is a respectable bakery, not a charity. If you don't have any money, there's a shelter on 15th Street that gives out free food." What Mitchell didn't notice was the well-dressed black man in the corner of the bakery, watching everything in absolute silence. His hands trembled as he held the coffee cup, and his eyes filled with a cold anger that only someone who had experienced the same humiliation could recognize. Wait, could this stranger hold the key to her redemption? Stay tuned to Black Voices to find out. Kesha bent down to her daughter's level. "Let's go, girls. Let's find a place where kind people work." As she stood up, she looked directly at Mitchell. "Have a great day, sir. I hope it's exactly what you deserve." Mitchell didn't even notice the subtle threat in those words. He was too busy showing off for the customers, unaware that he had just signed his own death warrant. As they left, the elegant man in the corner finished his coffee and discreetly followed them. There was something about that woman, the unshakable dignity, the way she protected her daughters, the strategic calm that stirred painful memories and an urgent desire for justice. If this story of prejudice and twists and turns has you hooked, don't forget to subscribe to Black Voices. Because what happened next was such a satisfying revenge that even today people still talk about the day when a simple request for bread turned into the spectacular downfall of a man who thought he was above any consequences. 3 hours after the episode of the bakery, Kesha discovered that the humiliation was just beginning. Mitchell had posted a video on Sunrise Bakery's Instagram stories recorded by a security camera with a caption, "When you have to protect your business from customers who want everything for free, #realisticbazaar, #no handouts." The video already had over 200 views and comments ranging from laughing emojis to messages of support for the brave businessman who doesn't let himself be fooled. Kesha watched it all on her cell phone while her daughters played in the small apartment she shared with her elderly mother. "Mommy, why was that man so mean to us?" Emma asked, interrupting Kesha's thoughts. The girl had an impressive memory and was still processing what she had witnessed. "Some people are mean when they shouldn't be, sweetheart. But don't worry, Mommy will take care of it." Kesha kissed her daughter's forehead, but inside she felt a cold anger growing. Mitchell had no idea he had messed with the wrong person. During her 12 years as an emergency room nurse, Kesha had developed a rare skill. She could read people in seconds, identifying liars, manipulators, and predators just by observing micro-expressions and body language. It was a necessary survival skill when you needed to quickly assess whether a patient was being honest about their symptoms or whether a visitor posed a danger. That same skill made her notice something interesting about the well-dressed man watching everything in the bakery. He wasn't just drinking coffee. He was studying the situation with the intensity of someone who recognized injustice because he had experienced it before. His clenched fists, his tight jaw, the way his eyes followed Mitchell's every move with growing indignation. That night, while checking her empty bank account, Kesha received a call from an unknown number. Kesha Williams, this is David Chun from Chan & Associates. I witnessed what happened today at Sunrise Bakery and would like to talk to you. David Chun. Kesha knew that name. One of the most respected civil rights lawyers in the city, famous for million-dollar lawsuits against racial discrimination. But how did he know her name? Mr. Chun, I can't afford a lawyer, she said honestly. Who said anything about a contract? I'm talking about justice. And as it happens, a friend of mine who witnessed the scene is very interested in supporting your case. Can we meet tomorrow? Meanwhile, Mitchell celebrated at home with his wife, showing her the engagement numbers for the post. Look at all the likes, honey. People loved my firmness. I bet this will bring in more clients who respect law and order. Donna Mitchell laughed. You were perfect, honey. These people need to learn that nothing in life is free. If everyone did what you did, they'd stop playing the victim. What the couple didn't know was that every like, every comment, every share was being meticulously documented by Kesha, who had taken screenshots of everything. Her experience dealing with detailed medical documentation now served another purpose, building an irrefutable case. The next morning, Kesha met with David Chun at a fancy cafe downtown. He was an Asian American man in his 40s, impeccably dressed with a reputation for never losing discrimination cases. Your case is textbook racial profiling, David said, reviewing the material Kesha had collected, especially with this social media exposure. Mitchell basically confessed publicly that he discriminated against you because of your appearance and socioeconomic status. But I didn't really have any money on my card at the time, Kesha admitted. David smiled. That's irrelevant. The law protects your right to be treated with dignity regardless of your financial situation. More importantly, you weren't begging for money. You were proposing a commercial transaction for the next day. His refusal was based purely on prejudice. Just then, a man approached the table, tall, black, elegantly dressed with a presence that commanded instant respect. Kesha recognized him immediately. It was the silent observer from the bakery. Kesha, this is Marcus Thompson, David said. CEO of Thompson Industries and one of the most influential men in this city. More importantly, someone who understands exactly what you've been through. Marcus extended his hand with a warm but determined smile. Kesha, it's a pleasure to meet you officially. Yesterday, watching that scene, I saw myself at age 8 when my mother was similarly humiliated in a store. The difference is that today I have the resources to ensure that this does not go unpunished. Kesha shook his hand, feeling a powerful energy in his grip. For the first time since the incident, she didn't feel alone in her fight. Mitchell did two fatal things, Marcus continued, his eyes flashing with an intensity that made Kesha understand why he had become so successful. First, he underestimated you. Second, he documented his own discrimination for the world to see. Now, we're going to use that against him in a way he'll never forget. Every humiliating word Mitchell had uttered. Every cruel laugh captured on video, every prejudiced comment on social media, it was all being turned into ammunition for revenge that would be as clever as it was devastating. And what satisfied Kesha most was knowing that Mitchell was still showing off online, completely oblivious to the storm that was about to descend on his privileged, prejudiced life. On the Monday after the meeting at the cafe, Kesha woke up feeling different. For the first time in months, it wasn't just anger she felt. It was calculated determination. Her daughters were at school. Her mother was taking care of the house. And she had the day free to put into practice everything she had learned as a nurse about observation, documentation, and strategy. Marcus had sent her a discreet message. Mitchell has a pattern. Check Sunrise Bakery's social media for the last 2 years. Look for other similar situations. Kesha spent 3 hours poring over every post, every comment, every saved story from the bakery. What she found left her simultaneously furious and hopeful. Mitchell wasn't just a casual bigot. He was a systematic social predator. In September of the previous year, a Latina woman had publicly complained about being followed by employees throughout her visit to the store.